Hi friends, my name's Eric. I'm the Talk with Famous People, and a big fan of Dulles' most recent video, which is absolutely spectacular. I strongly recommend you watch it. He does a great job of doing some data analysis on typing sessions I've done. I'm very, very flattered, gratified that he chose to do that. Let's push play though, because this video is not actually about me saying, "Oh, thanks for making this video." It's me making fun of INFPs a little bit, or showing what an actual INFP looks like. Listen to this.
So what are the takeaways here? I think maybe the way that we interpret the data says more about us as ourselves than it might do about the data itself.
Okay, so that would qualify as a takeaway, and that would qualify as like basically demonstrative NI, 6 slot, except that's not really a takeaway from what he said before. It's more a takeaway possibly from what he's going to say upcoming, or it's a takeaway that one might take away from the situation in general. Regardless, what you'll see in a minute is what extroverted intuition as a tool function does to his takeaways, okay?
That is, we could turn around and accuse the data of being inaccurate, or of the process being biased, or of the ways that typings are done being incorrect. Basically, attack the data as being invalid. That would be one possible approach. I don't think it would be easy, but it's possible. Another approach would be for folks to think of it and say, okay, it means that I'm the INFP, and a bunch of other folks are clearly mistypes, and all of my assumptions or suspicions about other people are validated, that they're not who they think they are. That would be a rather egocentric and probably incorrect way to read them.
So he begins with the takeaway that how we interpret the data is probably more telling about us than the data. So that's a fine statement to make. And then he proceeds to say, we've got several ways we might respond to the data. So what's presented initially as a takeaway is actually the beginning of a new section. And then he gives 3 or 4 subcomponents of the general category, attack the data. And then he goes into the second reason, which is basically assert that you're the one out of 7 who's got themselves correct. Now let's see what else he has to say.
Data. More interestingly is if it triggers another round of self-review about, well, how much am I tied to this INFP identity? How much are you tied to your INFP identity? What would it mean for this to be incorrect?
Okay, then there's that section there, right, that it's so striking to me because he's clearly thinking about how his video is going to impact actual human beings. Like, he's saying, look, when you encounter this is how it might make you feel, especially if you're a certain level of attachment to the identity. And I respect those feelings of yours, and I'm making this video very carefully to not trample upon them. It never crosses my mind for a second how my videos are going to make people feel. I mean, except if it's like, if I think it's good, I think, oh, people will like it. But that's not really how they feel, right? It's whether they like my video or not.
And what's the importance to you or I to behave in a way that is that we believe contributes to make our lives and the lives of the people around us better, versus actually having one particular cognitive stack over another?
Okay, so takeaway is here. Remember, if you're wrong, just care about being a good person then. Okay. How much more INFP can this guy get, right? He's if I'm the poster child of ENTPs, this is the poster child of my supervisor in full fucking bloom. This is a spectacular video. It's so good. But he's so NEF. He's so FINE, it's ridiculous.
Feeling strong feelings, sure, why not? That's something that I think should be any personality type's right. So we can use this as a way for self-reflecting and thinking about what is the importance of a cognitive stack, and also to maybe realize that a cognitive stack is not the same as virtue.
Is this still part of your takeaway that how we interpret this data says more about us than the data? Is this still part of that takeaway, or have we moved away from takeaway now? I think we have with our operational extroverted intuition. It's very important you include all of the possibilities.
Person can be exceedingly virtuous and feel deeply and do good to themselves and to the community and not be an INFP. Or they could be an INFP and they could be kind of a not very nice person. This similar confusion of stack with virtue goes into other personality types as well.
Well, let me say this, Joss. You are an INFP, and you are obviously a very nice person. As you inform people that, remember, what's more important is you being a good, authentic you. This descriptive and this label is descriptive of your mechanics doesn't meaningfully define you in the way that virtue matters do, which is an interesting way to tell people, I guess, be cool with being wrong about your type.
Doesn't take being an IN type to do things that are good, to help other people, to have insights and to execute correctly on those insights, to do things that benefit yourself and the community. Make yourself into a better person. Make myself into a better person.
Well, let me tell you, you benefited me with 17 minutes of first-class entertainment, Dallas. I enjoyed the shit out of this video.
So that's kind of where I am with the finality of the data as it currently stands. I do think it was owed to people to let us know that we are all at peril of not being the type that we think, particularly INFPs, but also very starkly ENFPs, and then to a degree INFJs, who had about the 50-50 hit rate, and most other types, which on average had a 50-50 hit rate. So maybe having taken that information, we can look at MBTI as a useful tool to the extent that it helps us.
There's so many qualifiers and little... Yes, he's so careful with everyone's feelings, right? He's saying basically 6 out of 7 of you who watch this video think you're an INFP but are wrong. But probably, based on this data here, if we were to extrapolate it out to the general population. But the thing is, he begins the video basically with taking the matter so seriously, like, this can be upsetting, and like he goes into considering the thing right from the outset in terms of how it's going to impact the 6 out of 7 who aren't INFPs. That would never occur to me to think about. that. But that's why they call me Baby Pig Poop Face. Because that's my new name. I'm Baby Pig because I'm a Chinese year of the pig and I'm a baby. And I'm a poop face because my face is made out of poop. And the only reason that I look so handsome like this is because of the excellent work of my makeup guy, Bradley. That's not really part of this video, but I thought I'd share that anecdote anyway.
And then also look to being pragmatically helpful to the extent that that helps. And with that, I wish you a good afternoon. As you can see, I am deep in the sunlight, and yes, I know I'm completely washed out, but it's been dreary for a long time, so I just need to catch some sun. Doing myself a good turn, and I hope you forgive if I'm not good resolution on the camera. And with that, a good afternoon, morning, and a pleasant day.
You are truly the Garrison Keeler of typology, Dulles. That was... And that what you see there at the end is selfish third slot SI, blind SE. In other words, I know I'm washed out, but that shouldn't matter at all to anybody because I'm enjoying the feeling of the sun on me. I gotta say, this is proof positive. Don't discount SE polar, okay? Dulles compiled a bunch of shit here, despite the fact that it's SE polar. Why? Well, I suspect it was something of a labor of love for him. Like, because he's TE, not TI, so he's making my not rendered useful work into something useful that we can actually get some analysis out of. He's the first person to ever do that, and it's incredibly gratifying for me. I'm so grateful to have INFP as a supervisor type. They're the best. You guys are great. And Dulles, you are definitely an INFP. There's no doubt about that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.